Okay, so for this trigo proving question, you are looking at two big fraction, and the denominator for the fraction is also like two big bracket. So what you can do is usually when we see fraction plus fraction, you might think of making same denominator. Yes, it's correct. But however, in this case, right, if you can see the denominator is quite a huge one. So what you can do is, right, you can handle the denominator first. Handle the two denominator to simplify first. So if you look at the denominator, I hope you can see it actually fits the identity. Can you see that it actually fit the identity of a minus b, a plus b? So that will give you a squared minus b squared. So if you apply the identity, then you sure we got this. And when you got this, you can relate back to one of the basic formula that is given to you. So this formula 1 plus cotangent square equal to cosecant square is provided in the O-level list, but because you don't use it so often, so you might forget about it. So what you can do is, right, you can actually simplify this part with the formula, and eventually the whole denominator become a cotangent square. So the first denominator will be reduced to a cotangent square. Then you handle the second denominator as well. The second denominator also follow the same identity. And because you are seeing it secant square minus 1, if you relate back to this formula, you can change out your secant square. Okay, change out your secant square. Okay, and once you change out, you realize 1 and 1 can cancel, and you are left with a tangent square. So the two denominator initially was two big bracket. Now it has been reduced. Okay, so that's one layer clear. So at least the denominator has been simplified. So the next part will be, once you have the simplified denominator, you should be seeing the fraction like a divide. So this is something that some students might not see it. You see it as a divide. So for the first fraction, you can see it as cosine square divided by cotangent square. And for cotangent square, okay, it can either be this formula, this one, or some students, right, they will actually forget that it is actually equivalent to cosine square over sine square. So I rather be using the cosine square over sine square. So I am dividing by this in this format. So the same thing go for the other fraction. I'm going to divide the tangent square with sine square over cos square. Because you will find that there's a common item. So after I choose to divide by a fraction, so the division of a fraction, you can flip over for the reciprocal. So you flip over for the reciprocal, same thing here. You divide by the reciprocal of it. You flip the fraction. So while you go through the flipping, you realize that it will be cancelled out. And that's how you are left with sine square plus cosine square. And that is your identity equal to 1. Okay, so you realize that quite a few formulas involved, and all the formulas are actually provided in your formula list.